Hey everybody, how's it going? Carmichael 327 proudly presents this 1990 Cadillac Daville. So let's take a deep and in-depth tour of this car. This will be a full in-depth tour, which will include an exhaust clip and also showing the engine as well. We'll take a look at all the specs and performance data as well. Carmichael Channel presents this beautiful 1990 Cadillac. It is probably not in the best shape for the year, but it's still a pretty good car. So right now we're going to fire this thing up and let it run. So let's get started. The exterior color is considered a gold orange metallic. Interior is considered a dark orange metallic with brown carpeting inside the car. We're using the previous cold start exhaust clip from my previous video to capture it. You'll still get the same idea and the same feel with this car and everything. I just didn't have the camera working the day of the day that I filmed it, but it'll show you some idle air issues and things like that that we were having trouble with when we had the Cadillac. So on with the cold start. The engine size is a 4.9 liter V8, available in front and rear wheel drive system. You'll notice the leather wrapped steering wheel with the Cadillac emblem located right in the middle. Here's the original Cadillac manual. So I had to switch cameras here. That way everybody can see that. And a glove box. So got all your original stuff. That's most of the mechanical stuff that they might need. So put that back in there. And then the mirror, and the nice thing is this mirror actually lights up pretty well. You can sometimes turn the lights on and off. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to put it up. So that's the mirror. And then we're going to try this car one more time. Battery is a little bit dead, so we'll get it working. So, and then you got your reverse. This is a I believe that's a 4 or 5 speed automatic. Got your overdrive, your third gear, second, and the low gear, and so on and so forth. 5-speed automatic. What's really cool that's on the column is that you can adjust your steering wheel along with your cruise control, and you can adjust the interior lights and also the timer on the exterior lights. You can adjust the brights, your dim, your parking lights, and do all that stuff. And it's just right there. It's pretty amazing stuff. And the dashboard actually looks pretty good for its age as well too. And the windshield wipers, which has about 6 different speeds. We'll turn the brights on. And let's see if I can zoom in and see if I can get these lights. You can't really see it as well, but I have to do this at night. You'll notice that the bright turn signal and the light indicators are located on both sides of the front. Now for the exhaust clip. The car is equipped with a single exhaust system, tailpipe located in the rear. And we're going to shut it off. You'll notice that the Cadillac has an analog speed odometer with a digital gas reader, which reads miles per gallon. You know, in most cars, it's pretty standard to have, the analog gas gauge, but this one reads digitally the miles per gallons. 16. This is a 16-gallon tank, and also digitally reads the left before you have to fill up your gas tank again. We're going to take a look at the earlier highlights on the Cadillac and kind of look back on the video of the exhaust clip and everything, which I just showed. We're going to take a look at check the oil and transmission fluid, which we usually don't do in these tours, but we thought that we would make an exception and do that in this one. So gas mileage is 15 city, 23 highway. So please enjoy this section of it. I'm going to check the fluids. I'm going to check the transmission. I'm also going to check the coolant and the oil. Obviously, you don't always have to do that, but I just do it because, it's an older vehicle. And before I do anything, I'm going to pop this hood open. So here we are, checking the coolant. Coolant is looking pretty good. So we'll just go ahead and pop this cap on. That's what I'm using to hold this hood up. Now that I almost got my fingers smashed. Wow. So, anyways, I think we're going to check the oil next. Oil looks like on the full range. and kind of see that right here. It's definitely going to need to be changed. So looks pretty good. You'll have to excuse the lighting because this camera doesn't exactly light up, so apologize for that. I'm going to redemonstrate how to check your transmission fluid because I made a mistake of not starting the engine, and before anybody decides to call me out on it. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and start this thing up. This car has been ran all day. It's ran pretty good for the most part. It does have a few minor issues, but we'll deal with those as time goes on. So you can see this transmission fluid. You probably can't see the fluid, but it is on the full mark. So, and we don't even have to add or do anything with it, which makes a lot of sense. Here we go. See that? Look pretty good. Well, we were checking the fluids. Just to give everybody a brief history, is that car was in the family since 1994. It was the grandparents' car, sold to my dad, then given to me. And we recently decided to sell and move on, which is indicated in one of my other videos. Take a tour. This Cadillac is equipped with leather interior, which is pretty much standard in most of the Cadillacs. You can also get cloth interior, which is the basic Cadillac back in the day in 1990. Also adjustable seats, both in both the front and the passenger. Also power heated mirrors, power antenna, power brakes, power window defroster, and some of these cars probably came with tinted glass, 15-inch wheels, an AM/FM sound system with a cassette player in it. Back then they probably did start putting CD players back in the 1990s. Cruise control was pretty standard in most of these cars. Also, power steering, power tilt wheel, leather steering wheel, which was pretty standard in most Cadillacs, air conditioning, obviously, and the automatic climate control, and the intermittent windshield wipers with power windows, power locks, automatic headlights off and on. And you can set the HUD lights at certain speeds, which I always set mine on the low to medium. So that's always pretty cool. The car also came with front wheel drive and rear wheel drive could also be in there. Anti-lock theft system was optional back then, and special factory paint as well with a phantom roof was also optional. And in the Seville as well. A little bit of a ding right there. The Cadillac, it comes pretty standard with choices of different rims. You'll see that indicated right there with the spoked rims that are down below. Also the standard metal rims with the Cadillac emblem in the middle. And then the spoked rims, which you see in that picture right there. Also 15-inch wheels with silver and gold aluminum choices as well. Look at the engine here. This is a 4.9 liter V8. It's also got a front wheel drive system in it. Here's your coolant, which has unfortunately spilled out. And indication your alternator and oil. Oil pressure looks good, except that it's mixing in. Battery right there. Also the coolant. So anyways, that concludes the engine. I mentioned the 4.9 liter V8, but also with the 16 valve. This has what we call a fuel injected system, which is a electronic fuel injected system in the engine. Then to unlock this car, just simply hit lock button right here. And let's go ahead and hop in the back seat. Shall we? Hop on this side right here. Well, unfortunately I have to unlock the door manually from the outside. So, and I'll tell you, this car has lots of leg room in it. I'll tell you, I love these particular cars, but they're very high maintenance. I discovered this right here, nice little armrest. You can put your arm in. Also, you have that Cadillac light right back here in the back. And then you have your hangers right here. Pocket for a little bit of storage. What that is. And you have your lights right here. So, and then you can also, interestingly, you can lock the doors from the inside, although you can't. And then here's something that you don't see: an ashtray and cigarette lighter on both sides of the door. That's not something you see too often at all, especially in today's cars. I will go ahead and put this lighter back in its place. And it works. And that's how you roll down the windows. So let's hit this button by rolling down the windows. This car is equipped with ashtrays and cigarette lighters, which you hardly ever see in today's vehicles. Also, you can lock and unlock the doors from the back seat, which is fairly unusual. Let's take a look at the spacious trunk, shall we? There's plenty of cargo space in here. Lots of cargo space. You can see this trunk is almost as clean as a whistle. Not perfect, but I think for the year it does look pretty good right here. See this, lift up this mat here and you can see you got this, and then you got your spare tires and jacks, which are right underneath. Just simply cover that back up. And I have this in here. This is actually a heater that I got for Christmas. You can actually plug this in to your vehicle if you're broke down, and plug it into your cigarette lighter and it heats up. I had this in this car over the winter because I wasn't sure how reliable this car was going to be, and so that always makes it kind of nice too. And lots of space for the storage as well. I don't think this car has it, but we're going to take a look and see if you can expand the trunk area. And have to unlock this door manually. Unfortunately, that doesn't exactly work as well. So, and I think it does. So we just push this lever here. Well, actually, this has a back storage to it. Very cool stuff. And then this is actually the original. This is like the original cup holder. You have it right here. Your speakers and your headrest. And a trunk does not open, but I just discovered that this does have a storage space. A lot of these Cadillacs have that. So, very cool stuff. Original formats. These actually look great. Very well detailed. The seat belts look great. It has a Cadillac emblem in them. Now I took a few pictures at night, so we're going to see how well this car lights up. And from what I see, this car looks great. Taillights in the back are the standard Cadillac fins that I've made since the early 1950s. Also, you'll notice that we have turn signal indicators in the front and the lights on the side, which you don't hardly ever see in today's cars, except for some of the luxury cars like the Mercedes and the Lincolns and the BMWs and etc. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will give you plenty of updates on the next videos, so stay tuned. Please check out this channel, Carmike327 at youtube.com. Thank you. Have a good night. There's a lot more where that came from. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, like me on my Carmike327 page as well. And thank you for watching.